So, episode 3 of Empire, it starts off with Monica bump into me. Kelsey, who the hell is Monica?
Monica.
Mel. Oh! So there's it's Tiana and Monica, this bald girl at the beginning, doing this little music video, and she's getting all mad. She's like, oh, you bumped into me on purpose. And Mel gets all mad, which is the manager, and he tells Lucious, you need to give her what she deserves. We need to talk. We're going to handle this. He acts like he's a thug and, he wants to, beat up Lucious or something. And, of course, Lucious ain't having that. Lucious is like, come on, we go talk now, Lyle. Let's talk in my trailer. And, of course, his arrogant ass has a big trailer that says Lucious Lyon in Old English letters. And it looks like he picks up, a damn hacksaw or something. I don't know when somebody's walking by. He tells the security, what'd he say? He was like, I need some privacy, boys. He goes in. You hear him, beating the guy, and at one point it sounds like he stabbed him. Me and Kelsey are like, did he kill him? I'm confused, or did he just beat him up? But that looked like a saw. So he comes out, and Cookie is there, and Cookie's like, no, we're gonna, what does she want to do? Have a meeting about something?
Yeah.
About what?
I don't know,
but he's like, no, you need to leave. So Lucious goes inside, and comes to find out Kid Fofo is on the front of this magazine, and he's signed with Creedmoor. Was that right? Yeah, Creedmoor. And so this is apparently Lucious big competitor, so I'm sure we're going to be seeing this more and more later in this season, which is going to be a lot of drama. And he's like, no, we need to steal who's Creedmoor looking at? We're going to steal his artist. And they're like, no, it doesn't make any sense. It's all EDM. We don't do EDM. And if you don't know what EDM is, it is techno music. It is electronic dance music. And the reason I found out what this was is when I did a video with Nico a while back from Love and Hip Hop. He DJs EDM music, if you didn't know. Electronic dance music. So, he's not happy about this. He wants to steal his music artist. And, let's see. Next thing you know, you see Cookie and her... Ooh, what's her assistant's name? She's a little ghetto girl. I think she's... Portia. Okay, so... Trivia. So they're auditioning songwriters for Jamal. Jamal's irritated, nah, I can write my own songs. I don't want to be part of this, whatever. And let's see, she hires... Okay, so Kitty hires a private detective, Gus, to follow Cookie around. And, of course, there's pictures of her talking in the car. Gus is saying that, we ran the tags and there's nothing comes up. These must be feds. And, of course, Lucious is getting all worked up and mad and stuff. Oh, my God, Cookie's about to tell on me for something. What is Cookie going to tell him for? Okay, we know he killed 4 men, but, Cookie was probably in jail. Okay, the drug money, but it was her money. I don't know. I guess saying that it was him with the drugs, too, at the beginning, instead of her taking the whole downfall. I don't know. So, we missed this on part 2. Lucious killed Bunky and shot him in the head. How are you just going to shoot him? He was like, ain't nothing come between me and friendship or something except a bullet. And, he shoots him, right in the head. He's such an asshole. And he doesn't even care. Supposedly, Bunky raised the kids. He's Cookie's cousin. So, that just made me dislike Lucious even more. He's cheap. He has the money to give to him. He's just being cheap. Okay, so at Bunky's wake... Lucious not having respect like he always does. He just barges in, Cookie's upset, she's crying and stuff. And all Lucious has to say is oh, yeah, Bunky was loyal and you're not. I see you with such and such. And at this point, Cookie's oh, shit. We have to find out what we're going to say with the story because she can't just be talking to Fed. So he's accusing her of oh, you wanted telling me, you wanted this, you wanted that. I love you, but... not if you're taking away my family or my empire or whatever else. I will destroy all my enemies. And, of course, Cookie's no, that's not it. If I wanted to tell you, I would have told you a long time ago. She would have spent 17 years in prison if that was the case. And regardless of whatever happened, yeah, that's when he said the I love you part, which is, so fake because he's sitting there crying over Bunky when he's the one that killed him in the first place. He's such a dick. So, Cookie, we meet... This is the funny thing because Kelsey absolutely loves Cookie. And she's oh, I love her personality. She's crazy. She says whatever she wants. She's funny. And I was yeah, she reminds me of, and her name was Angela from Why Did I Get Married? And she, she's Marcus this, Marcus that. And she was yelling and screaming. She was always my favorite. And I was saying, yeah, Cookie on this show reminds me of Angela from Why Did I Get Married? And then, of course, who shows up at the funeral is Angela, whatever her real name is Cookie's sister. So it was like absolutely perfect. I thought that was really cool. And of course she's like, Cookie says, you know, did you tell them? Like, I've only told you about the feds. And she's like, no, of course not. And, you know, they see a guy there that supposedly like wrote, no, he had like a hit a long time ago, and the guy Puma wrote for him. So she's like, you know, I need to get a hold of him. That's what I want to do, basically for Jamal. Kelsey, you remember the performance on episode 1? That was really, really good. We didn't even think of that one. That was the one.
The first one had really good performances. A couple of them. I think like 2 that I really liked.
The song was, remember? Because Jamal ended up performing at the last minute with Hakim, and then the dad was really mad. My notes suck, guys. The next ones are going to be better because it was like all over the place. I don't know. It's so much easier doing it on Bagos Club because I can write 1 or 2 things down and I remember it because they're personal life experiences, and this is like way, way harder. So next time I'm going to write better notes, and I'm not going to forget anything, and they're not going to be on these little pieces of paper where the writing is so small that I can't barely read anything. It's probably from Kiko's tail wiping it off, Kelsey. Alright, so Lucious talks to Bunky's son. He's like, don't cry, like, be a man, be tough, whatever, and I see you as a songwriter. And apparently Bunky used to rap Lucious's songs to the little boy, which makes it even more sad, because it's like, Lucious doesn't give a shit about anybody. And he hands the little boy $100, like, this is an advancement to your career. Like, you killed his dad! Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you killed a man that took care of your children. Like, you're so annoying. Like, I can't stand Lucious. Like, I can't stand him. Alright, so Kelsey Bear loves your foul attitude. She decided to write on my list. Nothing helpful, but to talk shit. And next thing you know, the deputy mayor scene. Deputy Mayor Alvarez. So you should like come up and like reenact it, Kelsey. It's funny. Okay, so Andre like bites him on the ear. Andre, ow, your foot's in my back. Andre comes in there. He's like, I need, Lucius wants him to find out something. Andre's like trying to like cover up the fact that I'm pretty sure Andre knows that Lucius killed Bunky. Of course, he's not saying anything. So they're trying to like figure out what's going on. And it was like really weird. Like Andre like comes up behind her. He like pushes her over on the desk. I wish they would have given us a better sex scene, like, because they didn't really show nothing but him, like, bite her ear all weird and, like, push her over. And, it was, that was pretty good, though. I knew that was going to happen. Alright, so, let's see. The old Salty. That is the homeless guy. He's a drunk. He's not really given any info at this point until a little bit later on in the episode. And, next we see this club scene, and you see, what's his name, Hakim, he's like texting and stuff, and I had to pause it because I was like, I'm going to see what this text message says. And basically this girl named Camila is like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm home, I'm sick, I'm in bed. And she's like, and he's like, what did he say? I wish you could have your legs wrapped around me.
Legs wrapped around him.
Yeah. So he's trying to like be sweet but nasty at the same time. And of course she's like, oh, really? Because I'm right behind you. And you see his face, he's like, oh, shit. And I don't know if this has happened to you guys before, but it kind of happened to me, but I wasn't doing anything bad. A guy I was talking to was going out of town for like the World Cup. And with that being said, I figured that his text messages wouldn't work, so I was going to send him an email. So I go to the club with my friend of like a year and a half, like not my boyfriend, like we're just in the club. You know when you walk through a crowded club, like the guy grabs your hand, or a girl, security, anyway, they grab your hand to walk through the crowd so you don't like break up. So like we're walking through the crowd, like whatever, and we're like over here from like the front door. Literally a half of a square, or a square missing one side. And I'm like sitting there bored, like the strippers are kind of getting on my nerves. The guy's, like, being kind of obnoxious, whatever, and I was sitting there thinking about him, and I was like, I sent him an email, and I'm like, oh, I really miss you, blah, 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 and that was pretty much it. So an hour and a half goes by, and I leave the club. I take him home, a friend, some stripper that they picked up, I don't know, like, they were doing nasty shit in the backseat, but yeah, he texted me, he was like, funny, and I'm like, what? Funny what? Huh? Like, how are you texting me? Like, I thought you were in Brazil? I don't remember where it was. And he was like, no, I didn't get my visa in time, and I saw you at the club. I'm like, what? Apparently, like, when you walk in, you could do, like, this, right? I was, like, right here. He was, like, right here, but, like, I guess 30 feet away. I don't pay attention when I walk in clubs, and I got this bright blonde hair, so people always notice me. And he was staring at me for probably an hour and a half while I was at the club, which is really, really awkward. So I had to pull her on the side of the road and argue with him for the next hour. It was really, really funny. Not funny. I was scared. Actually, it was really bad. Kelsey, wake up! She's hiding underneath the damn blanket. All right. Now, the parole officer... Oh, so they make up the story that it was the parole officer, Judy, that was actually the agent. And, of course, Lucius falls for it. It's like, yes, Sebastian wants your autograph. And he's like, lock her up. I can't wait for you to lock her up. She's been drinking and blah, blah, blah. So that was a good cover. That was like a good... I like that line. Didn't you, Kelsey?
Good line.
It was really good. Okay, so there's a family dinner, and Cookie takes Kitty's chair. And, Cookie ain't going nowhere. She's like, no. And she's like, that's my chair. And, of course, Lucius is like, come here, baby. Sit over here next to me tonight. Because here I knew it would be an argument. And, she's like, no, we're saying grace over here as Kitty's putting food in her mouth. And she says grace. After Kitty coughs to be rude, Cookie then has to get her last say-so by saying, please don't withhold your blessings from hoes that send skanks to spy on me. And Kelsey really liked that part. I thought it was really funny. All right, let's see. Face owns. Jamal performs. Don't be intimidated. Okay, so Jamal performs. Oh, Jamal performs Puma's song, which was like a song about being in love with Cookie. And, of course, he's like, oh, shit. Like, you could tell that he's really irritated about the song. And, of course, he's an asshole. And he's like, oh, well, like, yeah, Kitty, like, oh, this is a good song. Like, we should give this to John Legend. And, of course, Cookie's, like, even more pissed. He's like, I own the rights to the song. Oh, Jamal, did you want it? Like, I hate Lucius, Kelsey. I hate him. He's such an asshole. Okay, so then you see Kitty saying, like, oh, to Cookie, like, you don't know what you're messing with. Like, my dad's a doctor. My mom's a debutante. I'm a debutante. And apparently she was like, yeah, they make the comment, like, a hoe that doesn't mess up her pearls. I looked it up, and it's basically like a woman who's, like, from an upper class, and when she matures, that they basically debut her, like, and make it a big deal. I guess that's what debutante, like, debut is in the word. What did you just drop?
My phone.
Okay. So then you see Cookie go up to Lucius. Lucius is like trying to get his pills. He's not feeling well. She's like, something's chasing you and you can't hide, Lucius. You can't hide from me, baby. And Camila, there's a sex scene with Camila and Hakim, which was like really awkward because she's like, yeah, who am I to you? Who am I? She's like, call me mama. And she's like yanking his chain and he's calling her mama. I don't know. He's saying I'm in love with you, but we got to keep this private, blah, blah, blah. All right. Next thing you know, Lucius comes into, what's his name's apartment? Jamal's apartment. And is basically like, Jamal's like, no, you beat me not to toughen me up as you say, whatever. You beat me because you hate me and you hate me now. And of course they're arguing back and forth. And Lucius is like, oh, nice speech, kid, especially since I pay for this place. And at this point, Jamal has had it. He is not happy. And he's like, I'll just leave. Like, I don't really care. He, like, throws the keys on the floor. And Lucius, of course, being an asshole, is like, oh, I'll leave the keys here. Of course you're going to need it in the morning. And they end up leaving. So I don't know what's going to happen in the next episode. But Jamal has had it. And he's like, I'm going after his empire. Like, I'm going to take it. So he's being serious now at this point. And I think it's going to finally be a battle. Because Andre's, like, messing with Hakim saying, oh, Dad's going to give it to you. He's your favorite. He's like, no, Dad's going to give it to me because I'm the most talented. So you can see that they're not going to fight because they dislike each other. They're going to fight because Hakim wants to earn it and not because he's the favorite. And, of course, Jamal needs it at this point because he needs the money. Plus, I know he wants to, like, prove his dad wrong. So it's getting really, really good. I love this show, and I feel like they need to show us more. So I'm excited for the next episode, and so is Kelsey, and I'm going to make sure she's awake. Episode 4.